T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
Two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well and welcome to a new week and welcome back to Kop-Ish, top of the league, best defensive record in the league. I think we got the best goal difference in the league. A nice Monday to begin the week, people. Hope you're well. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like on the road to 35,000 subs. So please help us to get there. Boys and girls, we might become the first team to win the league who haven't played anyone. Rumor has it. Liverpool are sitting pretty at the top of the league after a win against Brighton. Man United and Chelsea drew. Man City lost. Arsenal lost. Nottingham Forest won though. And I'm not even taking the mick here. Nottingham Forest at the moment are holding up their end of the bargain in terms of a title race. They've beaten us. So we can't even sit here and say that Nottingham Forest are there by fluke. They've earned it, and they've been bloody good so far. But if you're going to say it about Nottingham Forest, you got to say it about Liverpool as well. We have earned the right to be top of the league. We haven't been lucky this season, as many people are saying. We've actually played good enough to be top of the league. Now, have we grinded out some results? Have we been poor in some games? Yeah. Name me a team that's won the league that's been perfect in 38 games. I'll wait. That's right. No answer. Because it's impossible. They're human beings. So, yeah, we are going to have games like the Brighton game where we stink out the first half and then stink out some of the second half, but we produce two bits of quality and we win the game. But we're also going to have other games like when we beat Brentford at the beginning of the season where we just shut them out and win easily. And we'll also have games like the Forest game where we play poor and we'll get punished for it and we lose. But as of right now, Liverpool Football Club are top of the league after playing nobody. And it don't look too bad, does it? It doesn't look too shabby, does it? Before I get into it, though, I do want to address something that's not even related to Liverpool Football Club, but it's related to me, Matt and Drift, because we know this person personally, and yeah, it's stuff like this really gripes me. If I'm going to be honest, so shout out to Flex from the United View. So anyone who knows Flex knows he's a Man United content creator, probably one of the best in the game in terms of content creation, full stop, when it comes to the football space. Obviously, apart from Mark Goldbridge, may even be the biggest Man United content creator. And he was doing fan cams outside the stadium. Again, something I'm familiar with. It's not easy doing fan cams. Flex is one of the first to do fan cams, and he does it brilliantly. And he was racially abused by a woman who called him the N-word. They have ID'd the girl. Big up to Chills. They have ID'd the girl. And look, this is the beauty of social media sometimes, whereby we can put out arts like this as content creators, and you guys do the business very quickly. I mean, we've got a police that we have over here, and we seem to work quicker on social media than they do. I just want to say a massive big up to Flex, because it's all well and good saying, you know, like what happened. He kept his cool. He kept his composure. I can speak from experience and tell you guys being racially abused is not cool, and it is very hard to keep your composure. I've failed many times to keep my composure when I've been racially abused, and I probably will continue to lose my composure when I'm racially abused in the future if it happens. God willing, it doesn't. It probably will, though. Massive shout out to Flex for keeping his composure. Massive shout out to Flex for alerting everyone about what happened. And massive shout out to everyone who ID'd this woman who thinks it's just cool to go around saying the N-word and thinks she can get away with it. Big up Flex. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're an inspiration to not just us on Kopish, but a lot of content creators. And once again, you just showed your professionalism when you shouldn't even have to. And big up to yourself, bro. Keep doing your thing. And to that girl, that woman who did that, let's hope you learn from your mistake, and let's hope you get the education you need to get rid of that ignorance in your mind that you can just go around and say those sort of things. So big up to Flex first and foremost. I had to get off my chest, people, because that behavior is not on from that woman, and Flex did a fantastic job to do what he did there. Right, so let's move on to Liverpool Football Club business. And I feel like I'm speaking about this person all the time, and that is Marmoush from Eintracht Frankfurt. The Egyptian star has started the season fantastic so far. And when I say fantastic, I mean fantastic. So far this season, he's played 9 games, he's got 10 goals, and he's got 6 assists. He's got a GA of 15 in 9 games, which is absolutely incredible. No matter what league you're playing in, it's incredible. And the fact that he's doing it in the German league, in a team that is not the most dominant team, speaks wonders. So straight away, that's going to alert football fans. Who is this guy? Oh, could he fit in at Liverpool? Could he fit in at Chelsea? Could he fit in at Arsenal? Could he fit in blah, blah, blah? Truth is, apparently, his dream move is to come to Liverpool. And why? Because he's Egyptian and because Salah's here, probably. He's seen the affinity Liverpool have with the Egyptian king, and he probably thinks, do you know what? I'd love to be a part of that. I see how much the Liverpool fans adore Salah. I see how much Liverpool love Salah. I'd love to be a part of that potentially. Not just that, he's probably looking at Salah's age. He's probably looking at his own age in his early to mid-20s, thinking, I can go there and not necessarily replicate what Salah does, but I could potentially be the heir to the throne. I could potentially go there and make a massive impact. I could keep that Egyptian legacy going and be the next superstar from Egypt. And it all sounds fantastic. And I'm not even going to sit here, guys, and say I've seen him play. I haven't seen him play. I've just seen his stats. I've seen some highlights of him. He looks a tidy footballer. But I was alerted to it a couple of weeks ago that Eintracht Frankfurt, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Rams, who basically Eintracht Frankfurt basically play counter-attacking football. And we don't play counter-attacking football. However, that's not to say that he can't translate his skills to what we do. That's not to say that Slot can't get hold of him and improve him. We've seen Slot improve Darwin so far, who many people wrote off, including myself, to be fair. And he's improved Darwin to be more of a complete player already. So who's to say he can't do that with Marmoush? Now, the issue comes in the fact of Marmoush covers right side and striker, not really the left-hand side. But if you're looking at the striking options we've got, or the attacking options we've got Gakpo and Diaz for the left. That's pretty much locked up because they're both in good form so far this season. We've got Salah and Chiesa for the right, even though you could argue Chiesa's not there yet. And you've got Jota and Darwin for the middle. Do we need a 7th attacker? I mean, it's all well and good having the luxury of a 7th attacker, but do we need one? Is that the most important position that we need to cover right now? And for me, the answer is no. But the question it brings, in my opinion, is if we're looking at Marmoush, if we're trying to buy Marmoush, someone has to make way. Who is the person that makes way? And where does he come into play? Now, straight away, I think we can all agree Gakpo and Diaz stay as of right now. Salah's going nowhere this season until the end of the season, but we'll address that if and when we get to it. Hopefully, he gets his renewal. We'll speak about that more on the Monday Night Live show. And then you look at Chiesa, who's not basically played. He's been injured at a club. Looking at that, thinking we might have to write off this. We might have to sell him or send him back on loan or do something because it's just not going to work out. But for me, that'd be very premature. He's only been at the club 2 months. That's very premature to write someone off that quick. But then you look at Darwin and Jota. And if I'm going to be honest, the number 9 position is a position that really needs to be upgraded. And not because of the lack of quality from Jota or Darwin. It's just not working, in my opinion. Jota is just getting injured and he's not available. And look, I'm not going to harp on Jota or get onto him because, let's be real, the last 2 bad injuries he's had are from impact injuries where players have fouled him. And then you've got Darwin, who doesn't really seem to hit the heights that we need. But then I ask you guys a question. If we were to sell Jota or Darwin, is Marmoush the guy you want? Is Marmoush that needle mover to take you from competing for leagues and Champions League to winning them? Because I've got to be honest with you guys. I don't know. Especially when you got players like Gyökeres, Alexander Isak, Openda. Is he the guy? And if I'm going to be honest, from what I've seen, the brief things I've seen, I would say no. Could I be absolutely wrong? Absolutely. Have I been wrong in the past? Yes, just like you always tell me. But is Marmoush the guy? Because I'm seeing you guys so far in the comments. Gyökeres seems to be the guy. For me, Isak's the guy. Gyökeres and Isak both play for Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. Surely it's got to be one of those. But Hugo's got a point. Is Marmoush just overperforming? He might be, but at the same time, Hugo, to be fair, people said about Salah when he first came to Liverpool. Years later, we're sitting there going, let's go. Unknown, Benjamin Sesko, another one. I've said to Matt and Drift behind the scenes, even shout out to people like Lakers and Jamie. And I think maybe, did I speak to Bajan Barnes about this? Maybe, maybe not. I think Benjamin Sesko is a player that we'd look at as a club. Age, profile, price point, the relationship we have with RB. I think Benjamin Sesko is the player we'd go for. I don't think we'd go for Isak, and I don't think we'd go for Gyökeres, even though those would be my 2 preferred options. But I think Sesko would be an excellent option as well. But is he ready yet? Is Sesko ready yet? We played against him recently and he was playing as a part of a 2-10s behind a Openda. He was decent, missed a chance that you'd expect him to score. Is Benjamin Sesko the one? Who knows? But look, I'm not a man to hate on someone's dream. If Marmoush's dream is to play for Liverpool, then by all means, he should play like that and go for it. And if he gets that move, then we support him and wish him all the best and we praise him for accomplishing his dreams. It's just that I don't know if he's that guy to take us to the next level, because I'm going to be real with you. That's what I'm looking for now. People who can take us to the next level. So time will tell on how this works out. Frankfurt want to extend his contract to keep the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea. I think Arsenal also interested at bay and also potentially get more money. But if I was going to ask you guys, what's the maximum? Let me know in the comments here, whether it be now or when you watch this on replay. What's the maximum amount you'd want to spend on Marmoush where you'd be happy getting him? Let me know, guys. Another player who's been linked with Liverpool recently, and that is the person who scored against Man City, if I'm not mistaken. That is Antoine Semenyo. The Ghanaian international is having a very good start to the season. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist. Now, I know straight away people are going to be like, that's it, 4 goals, 1 assist. He's playing for Bournemouth. Not like he's playing in a team that creates a lot of chances. He's playing for Bournemouth, and he's having a good season. He plays either as a second striker, sometimes up top, but mainly as a winger. He's dynamic, he's good, he's quick, he's strong, and he's had a good start to the season. But he's been linked with a move to Liverpool, just like your Brian and Mbeumo. And again, I'm going to say this respectfully because I do like Semenyo. I don't know if he's the guy to take us to the next level. And then again, I asked, where does he come in and play? He's not going to come in and play left wing. He's not going to come in and play right wing because we've got Salah and Chiesa. And he's not a striker. He's not an out-and-out striker. So again, I think this is a clickbait stuff from the media, looking at players who are playing really well and then linking them to Liverpool. Because let's be honest, Liverpool, Man U, and Arsenal probably have the most active and aggressive fan base on social media, whereby aggregators, media people, journalists, they will all go and put stuff out there in a clickbait form, because they know they'll get reactions from the Liverpool fan base, from the Arsenal fan base, from the Man United fan base. So it's very easy to link these players to Liverpool, Man United, and Arsenal. I don't think there's anything in this, personally. Semenyo is having a good season at Bournemouth, where he's playing regularly. Why would he leave mid-season to become 7th choice striker or 7th choice attacker at Liverpool? Why would we go and buy Semenyo? I mean, Bournemouth are going to ask for a staggering amount of money. Is he going to be worth that sort of money? Probably not. Bournemouth aren't going to want to sell cheap just because Liverpool come knocking. Or maybe, considering Richard Hughes has just come from there, maybe that might have some legs in it. Maybe that's another reason we've been linked with him. Obviously, Richard Hughes was part of bringing him to the club. Maybe. I just don't think it will happen. I personally don't think it will happen. But look, you never know nowadays in football. You never know. I'm really intrigued to see how and what we do in the January transfer window. And the reason I say that is because I think we all know we need to act. And I'm going to speak about a topic which, for me, should have given the club a kick up the backside on Saturday as well. We all know we need to act because we're in a title race now and we're top of the league at the moment, but it's 2 points. It's not like we're clear out in front, but we have an advantage. We have a small advantage. We're in a run of games at the moment, which is extremely tough, but we're navigating these games. If we can get a win against Leverkusen, it really takes us to another level. And then good God Almighty, if we get a win against Aston Villa away from home as well, then we're really laughing, especially if results go our way at the weekend again. But we also, as a club, need to act. We need to show that, we've got the cojones. We need to show that we're going to act like a big club and do what we need to do. In the summer, massively let down. Whether you want to blame FSG, whether you want to blame Hughes, Edwards, or even want to blame Slot and turn around and say, well, Slot didn't want to make any more signings. Whoever you want to blame, ultimately, we were let down as fans. We needed several players in the summer. We signed one. And it was a player who is not been available. It's a player who we knew buying wasn't going to be fit. The forward planning in the summer was terrible. Not to mention we haven't sorted out the contract situations of Salah, Virgil, and Trent. There was talks about Konate's contract. That's gone quiet. Talks about Luis Diaz's contract. That's gone quiet as well. Not to mention, we're probably going to lose Kelleher in the summer because we've bought Mamardashvili. Not to mention, we're probably going to lose Yaros in the summer because we bought Mamardashvili. So that's another area we're going to have to sort out. Maybe we promote from internal. Maybe Harvey Davis gets the promotion, which, again, homegrown slot and kind of helps us. So we'll see. But I think universally, I think we'll all agree as Liverpool fans, right? We need to do business in January. I think we need to sort out 2 positions in January. One can be a hybrid. The other has to be a specialist, in my opinion. We need another centre midfielder with a defensive mindset and a defensive skill set. And I'll be honest with you, we also need a defender, whether it be a left centre back who can play left back, or we need a left back. For me, at the moment, a left centre back who can play left back is more important because we still have Robbo and Tsimikas, and then we can assess those 2 in the summer. But ultimately, we need to do business in January. And that leads me nicely onto the next topic, and that is Ibu. Konate went down in the game just before half-time against Brighton, which looked like he almost had a broken arm. I know during the watch-along I said, maybe it might be broken fingers. He'll be back out in the next half. He wasn't. Panic started to set in. Now, Joe Gomez was brilliant in that game. So kudos to Joe Gomez. And that's 2 excellent games on the bounce. One against Brighton and now another against Brighton in the league. He completely stepped up and has been for a while now. So we need to start giving Joe Gomez his flowers. Look, I know Joe Gomez went through a spell where people call him Ice Spice and Joey Spice and all this. Joe Gomez has stepped up massively. He needs his flowers. And the message that Joe Gomez came out with is saying the other day, saying this club means everything to me. Stuff like that makes me think there is still hope we can keep this guy. But we need to see more of him. He needs to play more. He needs to play more. And in my opinion, he should have been given more chances this season. But he hasn't been. We'll see what happens. But one person who has been given chance this season has absolutely grabbed the bull by the horns, and that is Konate. Arguably the best centre-back in the league so far this season. I still think it's Virgil. I think Konate is second, but people can definitely make the argument for it. He has been nothing short of sensational so far this season. Him and Virgil have provided such a fantastic platform, not just to protect the goalkeeper, but also for the rest of the team to build on. How often have we said this season someone's bearing down on goal, Konate is there, Virgil's there, doing what they need to do? Not to mention it's our best defensive start in the league since 2018, 2019. And you'd even go as far as saying some of the goals we've conceded so far this season have been avoidable as well. A lot of them come down to individual errors. That again just shows how well we have been defensively. But again, that's another topic we'll speak about in more detail. But it's good news from Konate. Konate came out on his own Instagram and said basically that there's no break. He's had a scan and he'll be ready for the next game. That's massive news because let's be honest, when he went down and we all saw him on the floor rolling around, we were thinking in the time, you know what, we need to navigate this game, get the win. We 1-0 down at half time. But as soon as the game finished, what happened? We switched to that panic, that thought of, damn, we've lost Konate potentially for Leverkusen, Villa, and Real Madrid. We thought, damn, how long's Konate going to be out for if it's a broken arm? We thought, damn, that means we're down to Virgil, Gomez, and Kwanzaa. You're thinking, damn, what if one of those guys picks up a suspension or a knock as well? This leads me to the point of we need another defender. Should have been addressed in the summer, wasn't. Don't make the same mistake again, guys. We've been here before. We've been here before in January where we needed to get some players to just take us over the line. And we didn't. 13-14, we should have signed Mohamed Salah. Chelsea signed him and we lost out in the league by a point or so. 18-19, we needed to sign someone in the January transfer window. We signed no one, ended up losing the league by a point. 21-22, we actually did sign Diaz. We did sign Diaz. But what did we also need? We needed another centre midfielder. And we didn't do it. And we lost out by 1 point. Let's not do it again. Please, please, I'm begging you, let's not do it again. I'd arguably say last January, we should have bought someone, but we couldn't because we didn't know the situation of the club and the management because Klopp had announced that he was leaving. But even just adding a player again last January could have been something that helped us a lot. So please, let's not do this again, Liverpool Football Club, especially with Slot doing what he's doing with the players, especially with the players doing what they're doing. Liverpool Football Club, the fans are here. We're backing you. Just go out and do what needs to be done. But it's great news on the Ibu situation. And finally, going to round up with Rio. Remember in the summer, we signed Rio from Chelsea, the young sensation who is seen as one of the brightest sparks and brightest young talents in this country, and we were able to get him from Chelsea, and obviously it sparked off a bad taste in Chelsea's mouth. I mean, Chelsea are a bit hypocritical to be moaning about, poaching players, but hey ho, it is what it is. And this is now going to tribunal. Before anyone goes crazy, this is pretty normal. Same thing happened with Harvey Elliott. The same thing would have happened with Carvalho. The same thing happens with all young players pretty much. It's just going to be interesting to see how much we do have to pay because he's seen as such a bright talent. I reckon it's probably going to be anywhere between 5 and 8 million, which in the grand scheme of things is petty money for Liverpool Football Club. But I'm happy we're doing this. And we're creating a bit of a legacy at the moment with the academy players. We're bringing in some very good young players, and I think it's going under the radar because they're not the shiny, bright players who can walk straight into the first team. And I get it, I understand it as well because I want those players. But you see if we can continue signing your players like your Kai Gordons, your Rios, your Ben Dokes, all these players. It benefits us in two ways. One, when they turn 80, Trey Leone is another one. When they turn 18, 19, 20, and they step into the first team, we would have paid a minimum amount for these players. Whereas if you're trying to buy them at the age of 20, 21, you're probably going to be spending upwards of 30 million trying to acquire these players. So that's a smart thing to do. Secondly, if you're buying these players at this age and they're not working out, do you know what you can do? In the future, you can sell them for a profit. That money can go to benefit us. We did it with Bobby Clark and a few players in the summer. We made a massive profit in the summer because we were able to sell players like Bobby Clark. I'm not saying we sold Bobby Clark for the same amount of money we bought Chiesa for. For me, that makes sense. I think it's a win-win situation when you get players from academies and you bring them into your academy, you keep them for a few years, let them nurture, let them mature, and you go from there. For me, it makes all the sense in the world. So we will see what happens. Hey, TK, HG, baby, homegrown. That's what we like to see. And again, people laugh and joke about the homegrown stuff because I always speak about it. But here's the thing. Teams have had to register less players because of the homegrown situation. If we're in a position in the future where all of our academy players are in the first team squad, then we're blessed with homegrown talent. We're blessed with homegrown players. So it's a win-win for me. It's a win-win. So let me just round off with some super chats here. Shout out to the one and only Zubiri, my brother from another. Says, where would we be with a new manager 4 years ago? Woo! Zubiri, on a Monday morning, you're sparking this sort of conversation. I'm going to let the people in the comments answer that question, Zubiri, because I don't want that sort of smoke. And plus, I actually don't know. But big up Zabiri as always. Shout out to Monkey King, says, big up Cal, just about catching this at work. That is the purpose of this show, guys. Look, I've worked in retail, I've worked in office jobs, and I've always liked to listen to something while I'm working, whether it be music or nowadays it's podcasts, etc. So this is the reason we're doing this show, because we want to have something where you guys can either listen to it while you're driving, while you're at the office, while you're at work, in your headphones, or you could listen to it on your lunch break as well, or you could listen to it whenever you want. But it's just another show that we can give you a bit more content. It's not a long show, as you know. It's usually between 20 and 30 minutes, sometimes up to 45 if all three of us or two of us are on here. But it's just a nice short snippet of a show that you guys can listen to and just, zone out of a few things. Football helps us. I don't know. I'm going to speak for myself. Football helps me sometimes get away from the realities of life. And it's a good, nice little thing to have in the background. So, people, we've got 2 more shows for you today. Yes, that's right, 2. So we've got a preview for Bayer Leverkusen, which is happening tomorrow night. So make sure that will come out maybe around 2-3 o'clock. And then we'll also have the Monday Night Live show, probably around 9ish as well. So people, if you haven't already, please do smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you all for watching and listening. My name is Callum, representing Team Kopish. So I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. Take it easy, everyone.